Hi everyone. Today I wanted to talk about how Stranger Things, the show, especially season three, applies to our class. So, and also I wanted to talk about how it kind of strays from that. So, one thing I really liked about Stranger Things is that it's kind of a great snapshot of kind of what the American culture looked like in America during the 1980s. A lot of consumerism, large shopping malls instead of small mom and pop stores are starting to take over. This was at the height of the Cold War, so I think that kind of you kind of see the dynamic of how what we talk about capitalism inherently always kind of consuming. So one, you see it in the consumerism in shopping malls and all these places starting to close down. And then also you see it in the Americans and the Russians kind of racing to get this like demonic power that they're trying to investigate. The other thing that I really like that they kind of switch is that they have a female lead that has like superpowers. Like she's like the savior, which is normally like reserved for males. Also, I like that they have really strong female characters with depth that aren't like damsels in distress or sex symbols. Like Nancy Wheeler, right here, she kind of bucks gender norms and wants to be an intellectual. She doesn't want to just be like a stay-at-home mom like her mom. And then we have Robin over here who she's very intelligent and opinionated and she's also a lesbian. And then we also have like an interracial couple, and then we also have I like that they have inclusivity in the show with this character Dustin. I believe his condition is called cleidocranial dysplasia, which means he was born without his front teeth, and he had to get like an implant for him. So they included that in the storyline, which I thought was super cool, which was like another twist that you might not have seen in the 80s. And then I just like how they kind of showed how like the 80s was kind of portraying this like kind of like sugar-coated, poppy vision, but maybe it's not always the way it seems. And I also like that they kind of talk about like nerd culture, Dungeons and Dragons, all that stuff. So I think that plays a huge effect into um, today, especially like women in society. So I love that we're showing these really strong female characters, and also that there's a lot more representation. It's not just only white people that are appearing in these shows. Which I mean, if you look back I'm sure in the 80s there was a lot of diversity, even if you might not think of it that way. So I like that this shows a big group. And actually, I wanted to also talk about they have another character, Will here, who like they mentioned that might be in the closet. So these all these dynamics that um everyone knew was going on in the 80s, but might not have been talked about. So I love that they bring that up in that show. All right, that's all for today. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, everyone.